Hey, how's it going everyone? My name is Mark, back again with another GarageBand session breakdown. Today I'm going to do Wonder in the new format because I'm a little bit lazy. As you can see here, I'm in a vlog style, and I'm going to show you all the parts of my song that I have arranged Wonder. And let's get right into the video. Alright, so here is the GarageBand session breakdown for Wonder that I've arranged. And let's go start up with the acoustic guitars. So in the acoustic guitar, right, meaning that it's panned to the right. I mean, like, I did pan them, but not hard on them. In particular, the left one is not particularly panned very high. As you can see here, it's not like so left. It's just a bit. And it goes throughout the whole thing, and here's how the verse sounds. You can tell that when they're played together, it sounds like you're hearing like farther left on the acoustic guitar, especially on the left one, but it's not really. So one of the gripes that I have with GarageBand is that you don't have a lot of audio information, and for this kind of stuff I have to raise the gain. And the problem with this, I haven't done anything, but the problem is that when I try to raise the gain, it doesn't even change the audio files, because normally when you try to increase the gain in like your DAW, so like Pro Tools or so, you would see that the audio file widens up, so you can get more information that you can actually try to manipulate in. But in GarageBand, no, it's not so in iOS. So a lot of my sessions, especially when it doesn't have like a big frequency response like the acoustic guitar, you will see that the information is very small. And especially you want to like edit things like wind noise, so you want to go super pro and try to like edit the crap out of it. Oh no, it's gonna be hard. You could just rip off the good sounds of it. So that's just a gripe that I have with GarageBand. And you asking me about the parts, they're actually relatively simple. Let me show you the right one. This is just a 4-chord progression, so it's an E major, F sharp minor, D flat minor, and then A major. I'm saying D flat minor even though it's actually C sharp, but we're not going to theory stuff. It's a GarageBand session breakdown. We're dealing with audio files, okay? So let's go to this triplet thing, which happens in the first chorus of the song. Okay, so that triplet thing took me a good 5 minutes to do. Normally, when I produce songs on this, it would take me around an hour or so. And I usually do a lot in an hour, and I usually don't have a lot of time. I have other things to do. So I don't spend like hours trying to figure out a lot of stuff. And that triplet thing took me like 5 minutes. Normally it would take me around 2 to 3. Like maximum. But it took me so long because the tempo is super high for me. And it's 140 BPM. So triplet is like do 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 do. So it's a pain to do. I don't know if I can do well. Let's see. Let me turn off the FX, which we'll get to later. I did well, but I mean, not much. So in what's different from all the other sessions is that I actually incorporate like my own melodies in it. They're not great, but at least I did incorporate those melodies. And now I want to get to the second choruses, which is all strumming now, and you can hear why. So you can tell in the left acoustic guitar that you have these little hiccups. And what I mean about that is that you have these kind of things where I chopped off the parts and I don't extend. Because if I do, you still get the information. And I'm trying to make sure that they're all blank. And I'm not too pro of doing this, so you can still hear like kind of these hiccups where the audio doesn't play because there's nothing there, so you really only hear it's just like it's not smooth. I mean, see, there's a hiccup there because there's this little audio file that I chopped off, so you get nothing. When you do like audio editing, the goal is to make sure that it is smooth by itself, so it works well together. For some reason, in my case, it did well together. Let me mute all the vocals actually. Not really, but they kind of did it. And let's move away from. Oh no, we have more to do. We have this end part. So you can hear that there's this fan which I have in my little studio. It's up above that you don't see. I think you can kind of see my videos. It's like up there. And you can hear it. In Cardigan, you can hear these fans, like, but they're just very quiet. And I did a session breakdown where I actually tell you about these fans. Now the whole thing is copy and paste, and let's get straight to this grand piano. I love this part. So I replicated the melody that I played on my left acoustic guitar. I'm just saying, like, in the tracks perspective. This piano has this really cool part. And for the EQ, I just dropped the treble so that it doesn't sound like a pop piano. It sounds like a mellow one. It won't replace a grand piano anytime soon, but it's a nice thing to have. There's this. This is just that's it. And then it ends up with this big chord, which is an E major 9. I know it because you have a major 7. And if I actually take a look at it, there's D sharp, which is the 7th of the E major scale, and then you have the 9, or you can call it the 2nd, but I call it the 9th because it's an octave higher over the 2nd. And it's E major. But anyways, enough of that stuff. Let's go to bass. So I have 2 different basses. I have the upright and the electric bass. I have the P bass because I hate myself. So the upright bass, it's like pretty simple. It sounds like this. Let me put up the EQ for now. Yeah, very simple. When I try to record the vocals, I use this upright bass to as like a reference for the bass vocal that I'm trying to do, like kind of like the bass line. So that's what I use. Well, this part's cool. It's always about to go to like the E major scale, but then I drop it down and I try to do something cool there. And then let's get to the P bass. The P bass is pretty interesting, even though the part is not that interesting. Like, look at this. It doesn't match with other ones. Because the track is like Walk because of Shawn Mendes. Alright, so I was kind of conflicted on which kind of bass sound I want to use. I end up with P bass because I'm more familiar with it, but I tried different bass sounds, so I tried muted, Liverpool, and even picked, because that's the only bass sounds I can only find, and I don't have a bass in my studio. Hopefully if I have some revenue I can go buy a real bass, then I can use the amp. I can go download the amp pack and get some, but that's for some time in the future. Alright, so let's get to the Chinese kit. Alright, so the Chinese kit, something interesting. So I was trying to make like this kind of big lush sound. I want to make it like long lasting, but I can only get to do this. Originally I want to make like this, where it's like you hit the cymbal and then it just expands and then it just fades out, but longer than what this Chinese kit can do. I mean, it's still there, but I like the Chinese kit, but it's just that I wasn't able to do what I planned for. Let's talk about this synths. So I have aluminium, bandpass, scarlet. I'm not doing the moving force because I'm trying to merge it with the vocals, which I'll get to much later. So here we have like this part. So on the aluminium bandpass I played nonsense, as you can hear. And on the Scarlet, nonsense. I'm trying to make like the sound kind of like, oh no, it's something bad's gonna happen, but I turned it down so that it's not that harsh, otherwise it's like unpleasant. I really don't want to focus on that. Let's talk about we have a lot to cover. Let's do the drums before we get to vocals. Alright, here it is. I messed that up. Okay, so I'm somewhat happy of how these turned out to sound. One thing that I tried to work with is actually trying to get the kick to sound where it should be, because oh boy, it's a pain. But I think all the other ones, I mean, like on all these sounds I did heavy EQ so that they can work in the mix. Otherwise they're just a pain to be heard. They work now. I wonder what it's like. I wonder what it's like to be yeah. You can hear all the drums, see? You can hear them all at once, and it's not like, oh, the kick is so low. No, you can hear them all. And that's what I tried to do with those drums. And now that all it leaves us to do is all these vocals. I did a bunch of vocals in whatever way possible. These guys took ages. Yeah, it took ages to do. It took me a whole week. It took me 2 weeks to actually finish this vocal. Look at this. So many. I even have 4 vocals. As you can see on the video, I have all 4 of them. Let me try to mask. Now let's just focus on the lead vocals first. Right before I close my eyes, the only thing that's on my mind, be dreaming that you feel it too. I wonder what it's like to be loved by you. Okay, so here I did have some multiple values when it comes to like trying to use like gain setting, because some of them are imbalanced. As you can see here, look at this. Why I'm so afraid of saying something. And I will show you the settings right now. So as you can hear, there's auto-tune, which is from the pitch control, which basically acts like auto-tune, except that I don't know what pitches as it's going to. I will show you those settings right now. Okay, so the overdrive. Well, I did load up the lead vocals preset and it shows those settings. And let me show you the Vision EQ. Not much, but let's focus on other things. There's also the backing vocals. While I close your eyes, the only thing that's on my mind, be dreaming that you. Not good vocals right here. Wonder what it's like to be on you. Okay, if I want to make a #1 hit pop song, oh bam, out this vocal, out. So much auto-tune and it makes no sense. The pitch makes no sense. I can even hear an F natural in there, which makes no sense, as you can associate with Eloquent. I'm gonna cringe so bad after I recorded this, but yikes. Yeah, I wonder what it's like. I wonder what it's like to be loved by you. So the auto-tune thing is basically powering everything. But let's go to these choir vocals, even though they're just harmony. Do, 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 do. They're just boring, right? Do, 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 do. If I have time like now, then I could do some more vocal editing, like more retakes and stuff. But that's just what I could do. As you can see, they're just very simple. I'm just really doing like, I don't know, like 6/9, no 6, major 7, sus2, those kind of things. So I was using a keyboard that's like right there. You can kind of see in the shadows. not really, but I was using this keyboard to like give out like the chords so I can get like basic pitch because I couldn't sing in tune. And so that was like the main focus, though, trying to get these vocals right. And as you can hear, auto-tune is just powering this whole thing. And they all have completely different EQ settings. So all this time I was at my keyboard trying to like make chords, like form chords here, and then try to record these takes. And it would take me around like a solid hour to get them. I'm too scared to like go to my phone and go to my screen time and then show you like the number of hours I have to do these insane vocal takes. But I mean, they work okay, especially for a video that did well. I'm not sure if I should go more in depth on what's going on. Well, I can show you one of them. Yeah, I wonder what it's like to be loved by you. To be loved by you. I wonder what it's like to be loved by. Alright, so this one has a lot of reverb. I can show you by the settings. As you can see here, it's pretty high. Actually, there's a lot of reverb except for the vocals. In fact, the leading vocals and the back vocals, none. They have no reverb. The lack of reverb is nice when you're like recording. Usually when I always try to do like very little reverb because otherwise, oh gosh, no. It's like a production tip. So that's what I'm going to try to improve. I'm not going to go one by one. I want to go to this one. Alright, so for this one I actually just borrowed from this one right here, and then I just drop it there, go down a full octave, and that's all I did. But let's go to the moving chords. Alright, so here's how it sounds with all these. I wonder if I'm being real. Do I speak my truth? Do I filter? Do I feel? I wonder what. I don't know if Shawn Mendes and like 7 writers gonna demonetize my video. These moving voices, they're not like the ones they're trying to like make my vocal sound miraculously better. It just gives you like a little more of a perspective into these vocals instead of like just bland vocals. That, do you want to make an acapella? That's more important. Whereas here, no. I don't think it did much in the EQ department. Yeah, that's it. And they just give you like a little more of a depth in the vocals. It just makes the vocal sound a little bit better if it's on. Even though they sound relatively distinct. Looks like, oh, you have this. This only served one part. Okay, so what I did here is I just used my acoustic guitar and I just tap, and I just make like this crescendo, as you can see here. It worked well. That's what it is. Like, if I turn the FX on, which I'll get to it last. You see? And I can show you with just acoustic guitars. It's like this cool transition sound that you can use when you have your acoustic guitar with you, this is a great idea to do, especially when you want to make a song in a DAW. And just checking EQ settings. I usually don't go very deep into things because I want to make things relatively short, but trying my best to give you like an in-depth analysis, like for you guys who want to get better at making music. And then here's this FX thing. Now the only sounds I use when I do FX is just the reverse and the filter cutoff. That's one of the only sounds I only use when I do FX. Just after listening to a lot of music. So as you can hear, there's a lot of reverse, and it does a lot of cool things. It does make like the music sound a bit weird when it's done improperly, and that's what I try to not do, but it doesn't. I did a pretty good job. So I like that for it. And then there's this. Alright, that's go good. And then there's this. Okay, so I was trying to do this like to add along the lick. I'm not sure, right? So I'm done with the FX. So I'm pretty much done with the whole session. Let me tell you like how I got this together. So this is one of the longest sections, and that one started my weekly uploads, because although I still upload consistently, I still don't like upload consistently in like weeks and stuff, mainly because I have problems getting ideas and trying to execute them. So this session took me 2 weeks, because I originally have like this idea called the error in a song. I did garbage, so then I have to do wonder. So, but I do enjoy my arrangement of this song really much. And that wraps up for this session breakdown. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, please turn on the notifications, please comment for more suggestions. You want to see more GarageBand session breakdowns like this, you can go watch them right here. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video.